Trinity was really unique when I say that this project was really ahead of its time. It's a project that needs to be told because it is finally now able to have a life, and it has a place to actually live and can really kind of showcase what we tried to do back in 2007. The reasoning why I'm doing this video as a director is to sort of tell the untold story of the events that sort of occurred behind the scenes that this project unfortunately never really got to see the light of day. What made this project so unique was what we were trying to accomplish. Hi, I'm Reyn Mercuri, co-founder from 5 Talent Entertainment, executive producer and director of Trinity. Trinity was a project that 5 Talent Entertainment did about 10 years ago. We began the project in 2005 and we wrapped early 2007 and hosted a premiere in the summer of 2007. Carolyn Carpenter and I, we really sat down and we really tried to figure out, how to kind of break into the entertainment industry by doing things kind of on our own, because just as an actor alone really wasn't enough. And we really wanted to kind of figure out, where was the entertainment industry going to be? It's always nice to kind of be where it's at, but you always also want to be where it's going to end up. And that was really our strategy behind Trinity. Myself and the other 2 writers of Trinity, we wrote the story in a way where we could break it up as a 4-part television episode if it was to actually be aired on national network, or 30 minutes on a public access channel because that was the amount of time that they were permitting us to have. Or we knew that the internet was really starting to progress and grow, so we decided to edit it in such a way that it could be uploaded as a 14-part miniseries online. But that was still kind of unheard of. No one really attempted to do a web series at that time. In fact, when I was saying a web series, a lot of people scoffed and laughed and kind of snickered at us. YouTube was still sort of in its infancy. You really couldn't put any videos up longer than 2 to 5 minutes. Facebook really wasn't out there just yet. It hadn't really exploded as to what it is today. MySpace was the only one out there that really kind of seemed to have its act together, and you were able to host up videos. So we were going to use MySpace to kind of network in a social way to try to garner the attention. And back then we laugh about it, and we look at it hindsight 2020 and say, wow, if only. But it wasn't attractive to the studios. It wasn't attractive to anybody who was trying to get into the entertainment industry. It was always about television or film or television, or theater. But when it came to the internet, it was unheard of. So we really kind of struggled to find a platform. But we decided to call around to a couple of hosting platform developers and web developers that looked like they were hoping to do something like this. And fortunately, we were able to find 2 developers that were working on a platform that they hadn't quite named yet, but it was exactly for producers and independent creators like myself. Sadly, about 3 to 4 months into it, we got a phone call from them saying that they were no longer going to continue their endeavor. I'm pretty sure they're kicking themselves now. It's sad to say that a lot of these hosting platform sites at the time just really weren't able to host our work. So again, we were sort of stuck. We tried to market this in how we were going to garner the attention to the networks or the studios or the right producers that were really already in the entertainment industry. So what we decided to do was go around to all of the public access channels in Los Angeles alone and see if we could sort of schedule out our show. We could market that, we could get flyers out, we could send out emails, make phone calls, just really try to garner the attention of the people in this industry. But when the scheduling was ready to go, the cable networks that were overseeing those public access studios unfortunately closed down. They merged with another cable company, and a lot of those access studios were no longer available to the public. So that strategy sort of got swept out from underneath us, and again we were kind of at a loss. We realized, okay, so if it's not going to be the public access, it's not going to be the internet, there's really no real platform for us. What's next? And we thought maybe we could put it into a film festival. We called around to every festival that we could think of that might potentially listen to us in trying to create a new category. And we were happy to be a part of the creation of that, but that ended up not happening. They just, again, kind of scoffed at us, hung up on us. They said, no, there's no way that we're going to showcase this. I don't see the purpose in creating creating a new category. They said, the internet really wasn't a place for entertainment. It was more, social and work-based. And then, we were trying to work, well, how about a television category? And again, people were like, well, that's why there's pilot season. You just put your stuff out there for pilot season. It's like, well, who do you put it out there to? Who are the people we call? How do we get it in front of them? You have to know somebody to know somebody to know somebody. Well, how do you find that somebody? And I think even to this day, it's still really difficult when you hear about pilot season. Who sees this stuff? Who at the network? Where does it go? And independent people don't know this. So those who are in the industry and hearing me right now are probably laughing because they know. I don't know. And so we didn't really know what to do. So at that time, there weren't any television festivals like there are now. There weren't any web festivals like there are now. There really wasn't anything like that existed, that this particular project could actually live on and survive and breathe and kind of showcase our capabilities at that time. We then started strategizing on what our next step was. So we then started to network as hard as we could with whatever parties we could find out, whatever groups we could, we could be invited to, or crash, little get-togethers here and there, and other premieres and stuff. My partner and I found, we thought 2 or 3 people that said that they had connections to the Sci-Fi Network and the WB back then, now the CW, and turned out that when we hosted our premiere, and we were making the announcement that we were in the works, turned out that those individuals were smoke and mirrors, and that was another blow to us. One of the other harder things that was difficult for us to swallow at the time when we were in the production of Trinity was technology. I wanted to sort of get ahead of the curve, and I was really struggling to find information about what the latest and greatest equipment was going to be as far as cameras were concerned. I knew that HD was coming out, and HD was, again, kind of unheard of. And there wasn't really a lot of cameras that were out there that could do HD at a 24 frame rate. But at that time, the camera that was most available ready that was an HD camera, also an SD camera with interchangeable lenses, was the JVC GY HD 100 series. And that camera, still to this day is comparable. It shoots in 720, also 1080. You can put on film lenses on it with a few adapters. It records not just on the tape stock, but also onto a hard drive. So even today, it's still a very comparable camera, and I still have the first one that we ever bought. We thought we were getting ahead of the curve, and we were going to have this high quality, production. And it turns out that the editing platforms back then couldn't actually handle HD, at least not right away. And in the middle of us shooting Trinity, this is when kind of Final Cut Pro came out, and it could really handle the HD compression, and they had kind of already worked out all the bugs. And by that time, we had already filmed so much content that it really wasn't advantageous for us to go back and reshoot everything. At that time, we were still moving forward with trying to host a premiere, and we weren't quite sure how to do a premiere in a bigger way. We decided to kind of dive into what the entertainment industry actually requires, and they require, publicity and a publicist and people that can really kind of spread the word. And so we kind of dove into that area, and we ended up getting it out to the point where we had phone calls every single day for people wanting to come to our red carpet. And we finally realized that it's not always about the project you've done, but what you're about to do. We started looking at how other red carpets went and how they were publicized, and we decided to pull a full publicity stunt at Club Level 3, which is over on Hollywood and Vine next to the Kodak Theater. We ended up having about 500 to 600 people showing up, so it was really a standing room only. And it was sort of a happy accident. We had reporters from Fox, from TV Guide, from Wired, Getty Image, and the list goes on. The sad thing about it is that we really didn't know what to do afterwards. We really didn't have the capacity or the help to further it in that way. And so capitalizing on that premiere was also another sort of heartbreak. Trinity really in and of itself sadly kept hitting roadblock after roadblock, and we really were forced to shelf it. We didn't want to shelf it, we were forced to shelf it. So a lot of people had asked us, what happened to the project? What were we doing with it? And we really couldn't do anything with it, not at that time. So we ended up just kind of putting it to the side, and we said we will revisit this. Well, now has come that time. There's roughly about 100 hours of content of Trinity, and we have decided to redigitize everything, give it an upgrade, and rescale everything out so it fits the typical 16:9 ratio, so that it kind of has more of a modern day feel to it. It is a little dated. Some of the visuals, I've definitely improved upon. My skills have grown over the years, but I didn't want to go so outside the range to take away from what the original content was. We're not going to show all 8 episodes. What we're going to do is an ensemble into 3 episodes. It may extend to a 4th one right now that I'm potentially working on, but we've condensed it down in a slightly different way, but the end result will still be sort of the same thing. All the people that participated in this project were really just a wonderful group of individuals, a lot of creative individuals, wonderful actors, associate producers, people who just gave up their time because they wanted to be part of the project, their homes, their stores, their shops. Really, a lot of people came out of the woodworks for us because they were really interested in our project. They really wanted to see something happen with it, and really working with us on a level that we really didn't have anything. We really didn't have a budget. We really didn't have the equipment, but we definitely had the heart and the passion and the people who really were committed to this project. So with that being said, I just want to say thank you for listening to this lengthy video. There was really a lot to tell in this story. I really appreciate all of you out there who have really supported my independent production company along with Carolyn Carpenter, and that there is now a platform for Trinity to live on. We do now have a YouTube channel that can showcase our work, host this project, and it can kind of live on, and hopefully this video will help you to appreciate the amount of work that went into all of the vignettes and the teaser trailers and the behind the scenes and the episodes that you're about to see. You can see all of our past projects from our very first student project up until now, and check a look at our website. We've got some new projects coming on. I hope you enjoy Trinity. I hope you'll subscribe to us on 5 Talent Entertainment's YouTube channel, and I hope you'll share it with people and comment on it, and I truly hope that you enjoy the show.